Good evening. How's everybody?
Hold on,
We,
hey
we checking
everybody.
our
Okay, it's live.
we live and we got sound.
We
So
do.
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought that's what
hold
you was
on.
checking.
Hold on.
That's what you was checking, babe. We always check our
We got some.
that sound. So that means we can go. So
Hey y'all.
we miss 2 weeks. One,
Back to
y'all know,
school,
back to
man.
school, soccer, everything is it's lifing. It's lifing. Guess this one should have been what we do when life is lifing.
What?
Yeah, that's how much life been lifing. Just keeps lifing. What he do?
We froze.
mm. Somebody messing with our technology.
Oh, come on.
All right, I think we good. Are we good?
I guess.
So I'm happy. We back again.
Hey, beautiful.
Mm.
Can you let us know if you can hear us? We think so,
Shoot, we
but
wish we had a prize for the first one in. Ain't got no prizes.
what?
Yeah, air hugs. Ah.
I cannot with you.
Hold
All
on.
right.
Since we're doing that, let me mute me. Let me mute me. I don't like for my phone to ring while we on this, so I'm gonna mute myself. All
All right,
right.
well, you gave the topic, so you kicking us off. Tonight we are talking about the legacy
The
you leave
legacy
behind.
that you leave behind. So, quite funny thing was, I asked Trina, I said, should it be the legacy we leave behind, or what was the other question? No, remember now. I know, like that's what I'm saying. Life be life, and life got a life, and you just got to figure out how to keep it going,
Life
right?
got a life.
Life got a life. 'Cause, I mean,
Okay.
without life, do we have life? Nope. So again, y'all, it's one of the hardest things. I don't know if you can contest to this, babe. One of the hardest things doing this is always trying to find a topic to talk about. It is,
Now, if I think it was us freezing.
yeah, I think we good. I think we might be good now.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, 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 babe. That's what we got to make sure we good on all ends. So for me, I don't know if you can contest to this. It's always trying to find a topic because we've been doing this over a year now, right? And it's like you don't want to repeat the same thing
I
over and
mean,
over
if that's
again.
the way God gave it to us, that's the way God gave it to us.
So I was gonna say I don't know how rappers do it or entertainers do it because it's like oh, what we gonna talk about today? But it's just kind of hit me because now that we both are working in the field with the youth, um, I guess it kind of hit me what legacy do we want to leave behind? So when we're no longer on the earth in our physical realm, how do we want people to remember us? How do they want us? How do we want? I guess this one is going to be a different one too because you always say, should we care about what somebody thinks? But we should to a certain extent because again, your character and your morals and those type of things, you want someone to remember you for that. So yeah, I
So this one's probably gonna be this one, the question you just asked was probably a hard lesson that I had to learn because of everything that I was doing. I was looking for um the impact at the moment that I was
that you was doing.
giving,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I had to learn that I'm just planting the seed. And if I can view everything that I do as just that, if I'm not tied to an outcome, if I'm not looking for the end result of, okay, if I'm in Beautifully working with the girls and I don't see that the conversation is landing, um I have to remember I'm just playing this. And you helped me with that, because I know, right, in working through Beautifully You, and even with the Beautiful Society, and even just Hello, my name is Beautiful, like talking about a beautiful encounter and all of the other stuff. The work is the work, right? Like the work is being done,
Mm-hmm.
but we may not always see the impact at that moment. And we have to remember that we cannot give up, right? I had to remind myself I couldn't give up. God had to remind me I couldn't give up, because the moment that I'm looking for um the gratification, or looking at the numbers, or looking for somebody to say, "Oh, I got it,"
Mm-hmm.
then God is no longer in it,
And you get lost.
and I get lost. And I found myself in moments of where I was truly like questioning, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm done. Like I was so over it, because my eyes was looking from the flesh perspective and not from the spiritual perspective. And so now I understand, after going through all of that, that the legacy is being made. I just may not see it right now. It's like, that saying, give the flowers to,
Yeah,
like,
give your flowers now.
I'm
Yeah.
planting the seeds now, and they're gonna blossom somewhere
Later on.
later
Yeah.
on.
And
And it's
sometimes you
like
might
that.
not never really even see it for real.
And I may not,
Yeah.
right? But it's the fact of, I'm not going, and Dr. Vicky said this at a conference, you may not reap in the same season that you sow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good reminder for all of us. Like, we're doing the work, right? We're serving, we're, ministering, we're showing up for the people, showing up for ourselves, and we may not see the impact until years from now.
Years.
And we have
Years.
to remember, like, okay, it's not about the numbers right now. Like Alicia, of 1212 will always say, think about the power of one.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And
Yep.
so that's the thing we have to hold on to. And it's like, even with the kids now, it's like, you want to see that the instruction, you want to see that the guidance that you give the kids is hitting home right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I particularly have also learned, like through Kayla, right? She's the oldest, that it may seem like the parenting, words of encouragement, all that other stuff is falling on stony ground. But then years later, when we can have a conversation and she'll bring it up, well, mommy, remember when you told me this? And you're like, oh, you were really listening.
Yeah,
Right.
that's when it
So
hits you.
that's
Like,
when it
dang.
hits you. And so that's what you have to remember is, like, okay, all I can do is my part and relay what needs to be said, and then let God do what he do. So,
Yep. Yep. And
hey, Frida.
so Trina said this what she told me, right? She said this is your topic and she went with it.
I just
Because
cause
no, babe, this is how it brings it out.
no, but
You know?
that's because when you said the topic, it didn't hit me until you started talking about it like that, and I'm like, oh, that was a big lesson that I had to learn, not even just a couple months ago.
And the crazy thing is, I want
We
you to
froze, Frida. It looked like it's good on our end.
we're gonna keep going. Are we, can you hear us? Because if you can hear us, we're gonna keep going. We don't let technology stop us. But if you can hear us, we're gonna keep going. So somebody give us something if you can hear us.
It looked.
I don't think they can
The
hear
first
us.
time we froze, I did see it freeze, but I didn't
Right.
see it freeze after that.
Tiff, we frozen? Can you hear us?
We gonna
Oh
keep going. Just
man.
go.
Yeah, y'all could go back and watch it. So you came to me, yes, no, it wasn't yesterday. I would say that the other day. You came to me and you said that it was a young lady that left, right?
Mhm.
And when the dad came back, what'd he say?
Oh, um, he was asking whether he was going to still have whether his daughter was going to still be in my class. Um,
Check one right there. Because if as a parent, and now you're an educator parent, and you gravitate to a teacher, you're like, I want my child in that class because that teacher will be great for my son, my daughter, and that's your flowers right there. And you well, did you have the sibling last year?
Mm-mm.
No, see, so this parent really doesn't even know you for real. So um,
Son, we're live.
sorry y'all.
I didn't get anything.
Nicholas, we're live, dude.
Got nothing. Sorry. Got nothing. Tell Ari to check her phone. She probably got it. Sorry, y'all, for the commercial break.
Sorry y'all. We switched days. I guess the kids haven't registered to them that it's our live.
We didn't realize. We ain't send a reminder.
But yeah, so the kids have to get their schedule adjusted as well as we adjusted our schedule. Um, but your legacy, you're building it right now, and I I love to see Trina come home, and this is the craziest thing, y'all. She tells me about her day, but I've seen her come home worse in the accountant and not dealing with no kids, with more stress, more baggage than she is now. You know,
Y'all didn't think I could make it with kids.
no, you didn't,
uh-uh. You and Kayla both said, Mommy, I don't know about
babe.
this.
Babe, okay, let's
No,
go
because
here.
we
Hold
had
on,
that
hold on.
conversation
Yes,
before.
because of what? What you said when you went to Camp Smith? What you
Now
say?
that's the
What you
difference.
say?
Yeah, until if you heard that mommy part.
So, um, but again, it's crazy how we bounce off each other with supporting each other with certain things. Like I tell you all the time, how you help me see things not just my selfish way, my one-sided way.
So as you're talking about that, and it just reminded me, Dr. Vicky and I were talking, and she said, um, God gives you grace for the journey. And that
Did we give ourselves grace for the journey though?
uh, right, but
I'm sorry.
no. In that whatever assignment he gives us, he's going to give us the grace that's necessary to complete the assignment.
Amen.
And so, like you just said, the question now we need to make sure we give ourselves that same grace, right? Because we might we might be on the journey of the assignment and something happens, like you said, the life is life, and whatever you said, that when life starts life and we're ready to give up, right?
All the
But we
time.
have to understand that we have to give ourselves grace. Like I'm telling the kids, because somebody made a mistake on their paper,
Hmm.
and like just erase it.
That's
Like we gonna all make mistakes, right?
why they
And
make erasers.
that's why they make erasers. But it's just, it shows you like, okay, God is going to give us the grace for it, but we got to remember to also give
Give
ourselves that
yourself,
grace, because we, right, mistakes are part of the process. Mistakes
man.
are
It's a
the
part of that
opportunity.
journey.
What is that
I think
sound?
it's a helicopter.
That feel like it's shaking the house.
Yeah, because we close to that hospital now. So,
Oh,
but don't worry about it,
sorry,
y'all.
y'all. That was
Yeah,
another commercial break.
don't worry about it. We on pay per
Y'all
view today.
legacy.
But
Thanks, Tiff.
yeah. So given like, I guess you could say in your legacy that you leave behind, you have to give yourself grace and mercy in that as well. Because again, we beat ourselves up so much on our day-to-day journey, on our everyday paths, that it's like, why are you doing that to yourself when the
Mm-hmm.
world does it for you, really? You know what I mean? Like we go through so many things on a day-to-day, a consistent basis, that it's like, why do I do this to myself? Don't beat yourself up. Pick yourself up. Because when you start to pick yourself up, other people will help you pick yourself up. When they
Mm-hmm.
see that you're not really trying to do anything to better yourself, then you kind of stuck in a battle with you in your brain. So leaving that, just thinking about it, like we don't have any control on what legacy we leave behind. Really, we do, because of what we do on a day to day. But again, it's also one of those things where you can be thinking that you're doing everything according to God, but if we worrying about what somebody else may think about us, right, that person may not like the legacy that you're leaving behind, but what you're doing is God's plan.
You know what? It reminds me of what you're often saying, like how you glad you didn't do people dirty like back in the days type of thing because of how somebody always why you looking at me?
I say that.
That
Yeah,
doing
I
it
did. Yeah,
dirty is
yeah,
not
yeah.
the words you're saying, but because you don't know who ends up crossing your path
Man,
from your past, like, oh, I know someone, and then you like, okay, I'm glad. So it's like the connections you made years ago when that either comes back or you find out that you've got a common friend with somebody else and be like, oh, I didn't know. And then you like, dang, I'm glad I didn't do anybody dirty
man,
because you don't realize, like, we don't see it as that's our legacy,
nah,
right? Because we're thinking, oh, it's just a connection, it's just a relationship. But if the relationship is has always stayed on good terms. I mean, sometimes even if it's not on, if it ends
man. It could go
on a
bad and
bad
come back.
terms, but even it can, you can have relationships fall out, but still be one of those things where like it's still no hard feelings because of it. Like
Right.
we just gonna agree that right now the friendship is over, it's done. But when you see each other, you still got love, you still say hello, you still do, all of the other things. But
Mm-hmm.
that gets back into it's the legacy. What legacy do you want to leave behind? Do you want to be known for somebody that's unforgiving? Do you want to be known for somebody that's complaining all the time? Or do you want to be the one that's, every time somebody calling, it's a pity party? Like, no. Think about what small steps can you do right now. Let me say this. What small steps is God asking you to do
Yep.
right now
Or and we
for the
not doing.
purpose, for the assignment, to be able to walk in it? And like, don't look at when you're walking in your assignment, like, don't look at, okay, God, what's the end goal?
Right.
It ain't no, it's not an end goal. It's just,
It's the journey.
it's the
Yeah.
journey.
Because
It's the
it's
journey.
not he don't want you to get rushed to the end goal. Because if the whole thing was to rush to the end goal, he would have just gave it to you right then and there.
Yep.
But then would you be ready and prepared for what the end goal is?
That part is preparation.
Because that journey is for you to prepare yourself for the end goal.
Yep.
So we just, like I always say this, if everybody if God wanted everybody to be rich, he would have gave everybody riches. He would have gave that to us.
Well, we are all rich. It's just
Let me say
I'm just
financial. Let me say
messing with
financial. No, no, no. Let me put that in there because we are all rich. We are abundant in everything, but I'm just talking finances. Let's just think of finances. If God wanted everybody to be financially there, then we would have all been there. But then what type of world would we really be in? Because it's you didn't just wake up in money unless you was inherited with the Rockefellers and all those type of things. But you didn't just wake up and inherited a whole lot of money. It took time to get there. That might be your dad, that might have been your granddad, it might have been something, but they didn't just wake up with abundance of money, of financial things. We all are rich, but you gotta fulfill that rich within yourself, because God gave it to us.
I think the biggest thing, like when we talk about rich, is that it's not always financial.
No,
It
no,
could be love. It could be laughter. It could be your abundance is no longer just about money. It's the provision, right? It's everything that you need for that moment. That's the abundance, right? And some, like, not everybody, if God gave $1 million to everybody, not everybody can handle that.
yeah, I bet you won't. Some of us won't have $1 million. Some of us be broke tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying, because if your mindset hasn't shifted to understand, okay,
You're not
here's
going. Yeah.
how do I manage this $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
You can't even manage $100. How you
How you
gonna
gonna manage
manage a
this whole
million?
million? Yeah.
But that's where it becomes like you were talking about. It's a journey to be able to do it instead of just saying, okay, God, give me the $1 million. Not God's like, let me give you this
You're
right
not ready for
now.
that meal.
You learn the lesson, you develop, you prepare, you get, figure out how to manage it all, and then He gives us more.
He might take it all before he give it back to you.
Yeah, that
You
is
know, because
true.
again, we can lose sight, we can lose perspective of what our journey is, what our path is, because of life. How life, like, just starts to just come at us. Like, man, I need this real quick, and then that can throw your legacy off. I would say chasing the dollar can throw your legacy off, but always chase your dreams,
Yeah.
chase your goals, chase the ambition of how you want to better yourself. Like I always tell my youngest this: when we out here, all I ask for you to do is try to be better than you were yesterday, because that's growth. And that's all I ask. And even if you didn't even make nothing but a centimeter of movement towards better, it's better than going backwards, right? Then you look at it like this: sometimes we may have to take 2-3 steps backwards to move 10 steps forward. So we can't always just look at, like, dang, and we quit because it gets rocky, it gets hard, it gets tough. Mm-mm. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Yeah, I hope they can't hear him.
What is he singing?
Listen, y'all, I'm sorry. He's having a day. I don't know if y'all can hear him, but he's very loud.
He
And
gotta
he's
be
and he's
singing.
sound like he's screaming to the top of his voice. But I guess he's living his legacy right now. I've never heard him this loud. He gets loud. I've never heard him this loud. Um, dang. So ask yourself these questions, y'all. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? And I know for me, Trina had to what helped me with it, because I just enjoy what I do when it comes to working with the youth and working with my community and those things. It's been
Oh, sis
something
says
that
she can't hear
okay.
nothing. Hold
No,
on.
I don't think she. I think she said she can't hear Nick yelling. I think that's what she said.
Oh, okay. She can't hear Nick.
Yeah, I hope that's what she said. Um, but again, like Trina said, I helped her. She helped me, because she was like, you was already like, what you fail to realize is that you're doing God's plan. You've been doing it. It's because this is what you enjoy doing, and the impact that you make on not just the youth, it's the impact that you make on the community as a whole.
I think when you just say that, it reminds me of like when I first realized that encouragement was the purpose, right? Because we look at, oh, that's like what you do, right? The motivation, being there for like that becomes natural to you. So you didn't necessarily see that as your assignment because that was just something that you flowed in every
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
And it's the same with me, like with the encouragement. That was just how I flowed. But that's when God is like, but that is the gift. That is the
yeah. We
assignment.
be forgetting
Because we forget that, or we think it's supposed to be something bigger
it.
than what it is,
True, true.
because we're like, oh, but this is what I always do. We don't see what we always do as that being the gift, that being the assignment.
No.
And so, people are steadily on the search for something, for that gift, for the assignment. But really, the thing that you always flow in, the thing that you
This
would
this gets
do,
to be
whether
natural.
you got paid or not, that's the gift, that's
Yeah,
the assignment.
absolutely. And that's why I said you helped me with that one, because I wasn't saying it like that. I honestly was just saying it that I was getting paid as something that I love doing.
I didn't see. I mean, I had God had to knock me a couple times and be like, this is your gift right here.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. It's like we gotta take our eyes off of like what the world would say our gifts are and do what God says. Like for me, I like, oh, accounting. Like I thought that that was it, right? But then realizing that the satisfaction, the that wasn't it. Now
right.
that might have been it at one point, right?
You think so? Yeah.
I ain't gonna be in it for 22 years and then not be something at some
But
point. But
now I'll ask you this: were you doing it for the financial stability though?
so that is a piece of it, but I did enjoy what I did up to
Okay,
a
up
certain
to a
point.
certain
Yeah,
point. I
up to a
got you.
certain point. But that's the thing, it's like sometimes your gifts may change,
Absolutely.
right? The assignment that God gives you may change because He's like, oh, that door is that you're finished with
Right.
that
Yeah, yeah.
now.
That chapter's
It's
done.
time to move on to
Yeah.
something else. It's like when we our lives are our books, right? And blank pages always exist. And God is just like, okay, today this is chapter 35 of today you're gonna be a teacher, right? Like, okay, you
Yep.
know,
Or just a motivational speaker or a life coach. I mean, these things like, babe, when we first got together, I didn't think you wasn't capable of doing it, but I
oh
didn't
my
think
God, here
no,
comes it all now. Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 because I seen how you were in the accounting field. But like I said, with you having some of the, I listened to your some of the stories you tell me about the days that you're having. It's but you never once said I'm not going to go back to that. When you really started, I like when the passion of the accountant was gone, I started to see more frustration and things like that. So it was, I guess it was just that time, but you weren't going to just ever let it go. You know what I mean? And God was like, God planned in a journey for you.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to
you
bring
know
that back up.
so but it's we have to go back and rejoice that, babe, because will we be right here doing this if you were still there?
No, and I know that. Like I
So we
know
go
that
back and
God
give
had to
that.
I know that God had to close the doors because I wouldn't have left otherwise. But I get it. I know that I know that now. Back in 2023, it was like, "Ooh, what's happening here?" But so I know it now. But that's what I'm saying. It's like we have to understand that the thing that we do may shift when God says now's the time, right? Because we might be holding on to, oh, I'm supposed to be a doctor. Well, if God ain't called you to be a doctor, why you holding on to
I
that
don't care.
dream?
I would say I don't care how much you fight this drink. You might be able to become that doctor, but would you be happy with what you're doing?
That's the biggest thing. It's like when you think about whatever profession or job or role that you're in, are you happy doing it? And if not, then you really got to ask
That might not be
yourself,
what you.
you got to ask yourself, and you got to ask God, hey, God, I'm not content with this. Am
Right.
I supposed to be doing this?
And don't stay there for the financial stability. I say this because if you do, then you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there. You're not going to say, I'm done.
I would say this. I wouldn't say the financial security because you want to have the financial security and everything, right? But don't let that security be the thing that you rely on because you could still have the security and not be happy. You can so now it's
True.
like, okay, God, you are the ultimate security. You are the ultimate safety net of all of this thing. And that's what you hold on to versus the job being the security. Because we've all seen it when Agent Orange got in, right? That things started changing, that back in the day that you thought the government, like, oh, I'm in the government, I'm always have
Right.
a
I'm going to
job.
be
Well, we
secure.
saw that, right? We saw the change. And so that's where you got to shift the perspective on this security doesn't come from the job, it doesn't come from the money, it comes from God and the provision that He provides, not the job. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So ask yourself, just sit in that mirror. Sometimes just sit in that mirror and just say, what legacy am I leaving behind?
yeah,
You know, talk to your inner circles and just see what kind of legacy do, like, talk to your close friends and ask them, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
because I had a conversation.
Just had to just open it up, you know, because you'd be surprised that somebody else might be wanting to have this conversation. They just don't know how to start the conversation. Like I said, it's one of the hardest things in doing this, and sometimes it's I wouldn't say, I'm just gonna say it. It's finding a topic to go, but then it's all it. We always find one. We always find one, and God always provides us with one. And I say it may not be something that we well tuned in, but we always make it work. We always make it work. We always figure it out. Um, so it's a great thing to have this our legacy and keep rocking with the legacy and keep going with everything. I know it does keep
It keep,
jumping.
yeah.
Yeah. We got some rough tech today, but it's all good. It probably was that helicopter flying over, blocking some of our blessings. But can't block the blessings. We got to keep them rocking. We keep them rocking. And whether we either on live or we had to turn this into a phone call, we gonna be
A
here.
phone call.
Yeah, phone call.
But like, Tiff, we gonna call you. Can you call
You know,
Frida?
like,
Frida, can you
everybody
call?
got, yes, everybody got. Nowadays, everybody has, what's that called? Three
Three-way
way.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
here's the Zoom. Y'all get on Zoom.
Something. But we got to make sure that we pay attention to our legacy, even if it's like, even if it's something that you don't do to serve the community. You're not in a serving role. But you are. Even if your occupation is not serving your community or serving the people, you are. Everybody has some type of service that they provide. Because even if it was your family, just to say your family, your close knit family, your close knit friends, that you provide a service to them. You we fail to realize, because a lot of people don't tell us, like, they be like, man, I look up to you. I had a um a buddy of mine said this to me, and I'm sitting there like, why do you look up to me? And he's known me from when I was young, you know. And I'm like, why you look up to me? But then he broke it down and told me why. And I said, man, I didn't look at it like that. I was just looking at it as, I'm just going through my life. I'm going through my day-to-day life. He was like, nah, man, well, the way you move, the way you carry yourself, the way you do things for your family, for your community, and things like this, a lot of people pay attention and are watching that, you know, and they like how you move and things like that. So just because you may not be in your occupation of serving the people, somebody's paying attention and somebody's admiring everything that you're doing. It just be hard to tell people that.
Mhm.
You know, like, hard to come up to somebody and just tell them how great they are, because you never know how they might take it.
Yeah.
And when somebody does, because I have this, when somebody comes up and says, "Oh man, you're doing an amazing job with this, amazing job with that," we don't understand that not accepting that a blessing that you could be blocking. And my director tells me all the time, Jay, don't accept it, and don't block those blessings. My little cousin even told me that. He's like, Dre, man, don't block your blessings by not accepting when someone does give you your grace. And I had to I had to really sit with it, because I just feel like I'm just a humble person. I'm just doing what I enjoy doing. They was like, but you could be blocking so many more blessings by not accepting their grace. So again,
Thanks, Tiff.
yeah, go with those. Go with it. Go with it. And don't block y'all blessings. Accept them. Accept that grace that people extend out to you. You know, and you'll start to see, because I'm telling you how things just starts to drop off in your lap, and I just look and say, "Thank God, man! I ain't know you was listening this time," because He's always listening, no matter what the situation is. The when you at your worst, His ears is open. Let's just think about it, y'all. It's how many people in the world? How many people in the world? He got an ear for everybody, not just one, probably multiple, probably multiple ears, and it's just amazing um, how powerful and great that He works. So just remember, y'all, just ask your friends what kind of legacy you want to leave behind, so that way you can open up that conversation. Because again, someone next to you probably wants to know, or just wants to figure out how that person move,
Mm-hmm.
and why that person do this, why they do that. Because I had to I told my little cousin, man, I said, I know you don't like glorifying your situation, but somebody need to hear it. Somebody is listening, and somebody wants to know how'd you how'd you get out of that situation, and now where you are now. You know, so tell your story. Tell your story, y'all, because you never know who needs to hear it. You might need to hear it again, just to give yourself a reset. Because there's nothing wrong with a reset, as long as you keeping it moving forward.
Yep. All right, y'all.
It's been a good night.
This is a short one tonight. Go listen to the replay if you need to, but really sit down and think about what legacy you want to leave behind and talk with God about it. So we'll see y'all next week. Have a good evening.